Thomas was almost owned by Disney twice. Hey kids, remember HIT Entertainment? Well, did you know that the word HIT actually stands for Henson International Television? And before you ask, yes, I do mean that Henson. In the late 1980s, Disney was in talks of a possible merger with the Jim Henson Company, and knowing this information, Peter Orton, who had been with the company and friends with Jim since the company's inception, convinced him to allow the company to be its own thing. And so, in 1989, Henson International splintered off into its own entity, and all it cost was the distribution rights for every single Jim Henson property under the sun at that point, though they weren't completely starved for options, since they managed to get the distribution rights for Alvin and the Chipmunks.
A small price to pay for salvation.
HIT would then spend a good chunk of the 90s establishing their own catalog of shows, as they would acquire the rights to properties such as Bob the Builder and Kipper the Dog, who would eventually become big hits for the company, followed by their acquisition of Lyric Corp in 2001, who were known for characters such as Barney and Wishbone. In July of 2002, HIT would manage to scoop up Ghislaine Entertainment, and by extension, the Thomas franchise, after failing to do so 2 years prior. And as a result, they'd hold on to the rights for another 10 years until Mattel bought them out in 2012. Originally, the plan was for HIT's parent company to exclusively sell off Thomas, along with the stocks that they had in PBS Kids Sprout, but Mattel would wind up scooping up the entire company, minus the stocks.
Get out! Get out! Get out!
Mattel had bought the company for $680 million US, being out Saban, Hasbro, Viacom, and, believe it or not, Disney. The plan from there was to sell off all the other IPs except for Thomas, but Mattel would eventually change their mind when they saw that all the other ones were still financially viable. HIT would then last all the way up until 2016, when the company would finally be absorbed into Mattel and rebranded Mattel Creations, where all of its properties have been ever since. Now, say what you will about how Mattel currently handles these brands, but you can't deny how crazy it is that